All right. Um, well, game week is almost upon us, so that's an exciting time, and we're, I guess, 48 hours away from go time. And our guys, as I mentioned to you on Monday, we're in a good spot. We're healthy, continuing to get healthier as the days have gone on. 48 hours away to get a little healthier and fresh, but I expect everyone to play. I expect a full house out there with our fans and with our team. And I know it's a little different that there are no students yet, but hopefully all the students that live in town will come to the game. We're excited really about the first time we get to go at it as a team and the first time we get to go, break the huddle as this 2024 football team. So that's kind of where we're at. Great mindset, great mentality. One more day of practice today. Walk through tomorrow and head over to the team hotel and see what it looks like.
Coach, coming from Arizona, you're more used to night games probably than most. Just your thoughts on a night game as opposed to a noon game?
Yeah, the noon games are great for a lot of reasons, and the night games have a special aura about them, which makes them special. You work really hard in the NFL to play on Monday Night Football. They pick the best teams. So your goal is, and I tell our guys this, if we go at night, if we play at night, that's a privilege. And you've been chosen to play at night. You've been chosen to play at a time where there's not many other conflicts of games to watch. So that's our mindset. The other part of it is, what do you do during the day? How do you keep the team busy? How do you keep the team not too excited too early? And we'll have some walkthroughs. We'll have some meetings. We'll wake them up later. Let them have a good night of sleeping in, and then sounds like after this game, the next 3 weeks or so will be 12:30 kicks. So all of it will work out good. It's still 11 on 11.
I'm going to be honest with you. We don't know a lot about Weber State. What can you tell us about Weber State?
A couple things, stand out to me from what I've seen. First of all, they ended the season on a 3-game win streak. So they're coming into the offseason, or they went into the offseason with momentum. Their quarterback is a young kid who was a freshman last year, Munoz, who I was watching yesterday and today. And, some of the plays he makes, some of the off-platform throws. He's got some scramble ability. He's got not afraid to throw the deep ball. So that's fun to watch. They got a running back that's back. They got a receiver that'll make a big difference. Their running back winded up changing numbers from last year to this year, but he's number 1 this year, I think, and he's going to be a good player for him. We're going to have to tackle him. We're going to have to tackle their wideouts. Defensively, they play extremely hard. They remind me a lot of the teams that we've played in that division, right? We've played North Dakota State. We've played Northern Arizona. They've played those teams as well. They're going to play physical football. They're going to get after you. They're going to play for 60 minutes as hard as they possibly can. And we got to handle their pass rush. We got to handle their runners. And we got to handle our own self.
You had 3 secondary spots that looked like loose ends on the sheet that we got on Monday. Are those still in progress, or have you told those guys who's going to start?
Yeah, I really feel we've got 4 for 3 right now. So we've probably got 3 positions that if we have 2 corners and a star and 4 guys competing for those 3 spots, and we'll see how that looks on game day. But I would expect all 4 of them to play. I think that's kind of what it should look like. And they're good football players, right? They're really good players. And Prysock and EJ and Thaddeus and Shaw and McCutcheon, really. If you look at those 5 guys, and I expect them all to rotate in and play.
Jedd, how much do you worry is probably the wrong word, but how much are you concerned about when you have this many new players together, coaches, just little things like communicating the proper way, getting the plays called in the right way, signals? How much of that is kind of a factor for that first game?
Yeah, it's all a bit a factor, without a doubt, right? We've had a mock game. We've done we've practiced leaving the tunnel. We've practiced how long it takes for the garage doors to open up and how long the walk is from the locker room to the gate. We've, practiced what music we're going to play after a game. We've tried to emulate and simulate different opportunities during the course of the game. If the headsets go down, what would we do? If the coach, the quarterback communicator, we accidentally we made a substitute and there's no one that has the green dot on defense, right? There's just some things that you have to, practice that if you were together 3-4 years, maybe you wouldn't have to spend as much time on. But, communication is huge. It's huge for the players. It's huge for the coaches. And it's not just player to player or coach to player or coach to coach. It's all of it. And we've got to make sure we do a really good job of, on Saturday, handling whatever blips on the radar that are going to come, because they will come.
Having the sideline tablets, how much does that kind of change?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm most focused on is balancing running a team meeting on the sideline versus coaching a game. It's different when you have video. Like, it's one thing when you have pictures, but video is, you can get wrapped up in it and you could stare at it and you could watch it and you could lose track of the things that are going on in the game, especially when you're trying to call the offensive plays and also manage the game as the head coach. So I've got to find a good battle rhythm there, and to be able to make whatever adjustments or corrections we need to make in the, let's call it the course of the game, through the tablets, but also not lose track of the live action.
Coach, going back to Coach Sarkisian, coming out of the tunnel for the team and the fans and the pregame production has always been a big deal. And, going back to Sark, they tend to put their own little flavor on it, little touch. Have you done any of that with this team?
Yeah, we've spent some time on it. It means a lot to me. The dog walk, start with that. We've changed that. We've added to the dog walk where we would love to have a experience when we're leaving the buses. So we're going to walk by the Don James statue. We're going to get ourselves dropped off in front of the Alaska Airlines Arena. We're going to make sure that when we take that walk and we're going to walk through that little, wall, that little hallway or sidewalk of champions and the sidewalk of the big donors, and then past the monuments and the statues, and then get to the Husky and make a left. And we want to see a big crowd there. We want to make our own tradition of our dog walk. We want the band there and the Palm Squad and the cheerleaders and all of that will all be there. When it comes to leaving the huddle, leaving the field, leaving the tunnel, I guess, onto the field, yeah, we created a new video. We have a brand new run-out video that we created. We have songs that we've chosen. So all of those things are stuff that we're trying to make our own.
Would you say you guys have been pretty lucky with your health so far? Seems like there's very few guys that are injured. And on that note, is Armand Parker going to be able to play this year, do you think?
No, Armand Parker will not be able to play this year. His injury was a season ender. The rest of the guys, I want to give credit really to Pat, to Aaron, for allowing us to invest in our training room. I want to give credit to Tom Reed, our head athletic trainer, who we brought from the Arizona Cardinals, spent 23 years in the NFL. He became our head athletic trainer the middle of July and hit the ground running. I want to give credit to the partnership that he has with Dr. Harmon and our medical team. Credit to T.O. and his strength staff and their partnership with the training room. The investment that Pat and Aaron have allowed us to make in nutrition has made an enormous difference in the health of our team. Our team's gained 650 pounds since we arrived, and a lot of that comes with an investment that our administration has allowed us to make. We've really tried to improve our modalities. We've invested in cryotherapy. We've made improvements and enhancements in our training room. We've obviously rebuilt an entire weight room that has brought in a lot of extra equipment for preventative medicine or preventive injuries. All of those things have allowed us to stay healthy. Now, there's no guarantees in football that you could stay healthy all season long, but our hope and our program is to put the guys in the best possible position to not get hurt.
You mentioned 650 collectively, right?
Yeah.
Who's the biggest? I mean, who are a couple guys that I know Cam Fat put some weight on, talked about that the other day, but is there a couple guys that stood out that really just have made some real progress since you showed up here?
Yeah, well, Swanee has gained, I think Brennan mentioned it, I think it was like 32 pounds or 36 pounds. from our arrival here. Paki Finau has put on 21 pounds. Bryce Butler's put on 17 pounds. Some of our receivers, have gained 10, 12 pounds. Like Audric has gained like 14 pounds. There's some guys that have just found a way. Price Sock's up to 200, gained 11 pounds since he's arrived. There's just some guys that have just gotten bigger naturally, and because of how they're eating and how they're lifting and what we're requiring them to do, which I believe will help us in the long run, building body armor. Damon walked in here. He's up 17 pounds, Damon is. So Damon walked in here, I think it was at 175. He's at 192 today. So, you get those type of changes in your body and maintain your strength, gives you a great opportunity to be successful.
Opening series, you pre-script the opening series, the first couple series, or go by gut?
I do. Pre-script it. For the most part, it's not by gut. I'd like to see what they do. So there's certain formations and plays that we'll get into to see what their adjustments are and see how they align. And then from that point, be able to go down whatever path is necessary to move the ball. But I have a list of openers. I don't necessarily say we're on a exact script as much as I would say we have plays that we'd like to call within the first quarter.
Do you know the first play you're going to call on Saturday?
I do. No.
Will Brennan and Steve be up in the booth as
No, everyone will be down.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, Steve will call the game from the field. He likes to do that. He's always called the game from the field at New England the last 4 years as he was the play caller in New England. He called it from the field. I call it from the field. And then BC coaches the offensive line during the course of the game. And I believe your offensive line coach has to be on the field. There's too many adjustments you have to make. You have to talk to the five guys consistently and between every series. And then I'll have Jimmy upstairs on offense as a sounding board for me and to kind of give me the information that I need. We've been together a very long time, so he knows what I'm looking for. Mike Switzer and I have been together since 2015. He'll be upstairs as well. And then defensively, I think Steve has Aaron Van Horn up there with him, for him, and then probably a couple of other of the younger coaches. But I think all position coaches outside of Coach Doherty will be on the field.
Is it important for you to get Damon some snaps in a game like this? Like, do you think about that heading into a game of this magnitude, that if we can get out of here and get things done, we can get Damon in there? Does that even cross your mind?
No, it really doesn't. I mean, we played in 2021. We played Northern Arizona. We lost 21-19. In 2022, we beat North Dakota State 31-27. We threw a touchdown pass with 4 minutes left. I don't look at these games as anything other than a really tough opponent that wants to come in here, that wants to win the game. And I don't ever think about getting our not number ones in the game.
Another guy who had a good fall but then got injured right at the end, Leroy Bryant. What's his status going forward?
I think he's out this game and he'll be back up for starting next week. I think he should be cleared to participate for Eastern Michigan.
With Armand Parker, it's kind of a tricky one because this is his second season-ending injury. Plus, he's got a twin that's been playing without him. Have you had to kind of talk to him a little bit to keep him encouraged?
Yeah, that's a great question. We certainly have a lot of resources here to be able to make sure that guys stay on the positive side and don't get discouraged. But, he's had a great attitude. His brother, Javon, also is going through rehab for this whole summer. So I think they might have leaned on each other there. But I would hats off to Armand and really our training staff and strength staff that they've been able to keep him positive. And I wasn't here last year, so I didn't live through the injury he lived through. But it's unfortunate, the injury, but I would say his attitude has been really good.
All right.
Thanks. We'll see you after the game.